Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to start, it's the beginning of the end for our Disney album, and I have one more layout or another layout of Main Street to bring to you today, but this one is more kind of focused on a Christmassy theme, and it should be something that comes together pretty quick and easy for you. So I hope this is one that you can kind of keep in your back pocket and use for your holiday photos, along with any other fun photos, maybe at the park or something like that. It would be great for any of those. So let's check out my workspace and we'll get started. And just another really quick note, make sure that you're commenting and sharing my videos with other people so they can comment too. I'm going to be doing a drawing. Check out the details in the description of the video. And yeah, let's get started. All right, so this is my workspace for today, and you'll recognize this is the right hand side of the last layout that we did in the Disney album from the fun dinner that I had with some old friends and while our kids were still in the park. And I'm just noticing that this picture right here is actually reminiscent of several photos that are going to be a part of this next layout. We had, I guess, a lot of copies of that picture and I didn't realize it, but that's okay. Some of them have different facial expressions and are just kind of fun. So I'm going to take just a few pieces. Really, these are remnants of different different pieces of Christmas paper. These are some embellishments we may or may not use later, so I'm just going to set those over there. These are the photos that we're going to work with today, but I'm going to go ahead and set these pages out of the way so that we can build a couple of other things real quick. So I'm just going to grab my trimmer. I have 5 different pieces of paper here, and I'm going to flip one of them over. This one right here is going to get flipped over so we can use both sides. Yeah, so we are, believe it or not, this Christmas tree paper right here is the back side of this one. See? Ta-da! So what I'm going to do is we're going to take this piece, which is, really doesn't matter how wide your pieces are. You can use pieces that are, you know, whatever you have that's left over. This happens to be 3.5 inches wide, so it's going to be 3.5 by 6 because I'm going to, well, actually, I take that back. Let's see. I don't need to duplicate any of these, so I'm going to make this, we're going to make these varying degrees in height. So this one's going to be 7 inches. Okay, so we're going to start with that. That one's 7 inches. That piece is separate. This one is going to be, how tall is this? I think this is 6 3/4. So, and width wise, I'm going to make this one 3 inches wide. Okay, so that one will be that side. Then we're going to flip it over. We're going to use this side, and we're going to make this one 3 inches wide also, just for the sake of, I don't know, a little bit of continuity, I guess. Then this piece is, how tall is this piece? This is about 8 3/4 inches tall, and we're going to make this 3.5 inches wide. Okay, and this piece is already about 3 1/8 ish, maybe just shy of 3 1/8, and I'm going to make this one 8 inches tall. And then this one, let's see how wide this sheet is. That's just over 7 inches. I think I'm going to cut a strip off of this. So let's make this 3 1/4 inches wide. Just for fun. So 3 1/4 inches wide, and we'll make this one 9 inches tall. So we have a little bit of variety. Okay. Now we're going to take all of these pieces that we just cut and we're going to find the center. Alright, so I'm going to grab my pencil. I'm going to use the mat on my table so that it's fairly easy for me to find the center. And it doesn't have to be exact, because this is just going to be good enough. It's going to be good enough. Okay, so I'm going to mark the center right there. In fact, I'm just going to erase that little mark real quick. Let's flip it over. We're going to mark the back side of these pieces, not the front that we want to see, but the back side. Okay, so there's my center mark. You only need it marked on one end, so try not to stress. Try not to stress too much. Okay. Just mark the center of each piece. And I'm finding my center by looking out here at this area, and when those look even to me, I'm calling that the middle. I'm looking at this line right here. That's how I'm finding my center. You can measure yours and then do the math if it's going to bother you if it's off by a little bit, but it's not going to bother me if it's off just a little, so that's why I'm rolling with it this way. That's going to be hard to see. Might have to do that one first just because I'll know a little bit closer where it is. Alright. And there's that one. Okay, now we're going to come in here and we are going to take our trimmer. We're going to put that line that we marked, that center that we marked, on the cutting line, and then the corner that's closest to us down here on the cutting line. So just like that and like that. Then we're going to turn it around, put the marked area down here on the cutting line and that top corner. So that we're making a tree shape, okay? That's the goal here today, to make trees. This would make a great Christmas layout, I think. So, something to keep in mind. It was approaching Christmas time when we had this little adventure. This actually was a Christmas gift to our children, essentially, because we decided to gift experiences rather than stuff. I need to go back to that. It was a new thing, and it basically, for us, it has to be kind of an every other year type of thing, because otherwise it's just too expensive. But we would like to spend more time as a family, and so to be able to do that, it makes sense. All right, this is the last one to cut into a tree shape. Sometimes it takes a little finagling, little adjustments. All right. So there are our trees. Let me see if I need to flip any of them over. And I'm gonna, don't throw these away just yet, because you never know when you might need an extra tree somewhere. And those will be nice and handy. Okay, so this one's the other side, that one's the other side. That one should be right. Both of these are the other side. All right, so here are our Christmas trees. Now, not all of these trees are going to go together. So I'm just going to do a couple of quick adjustments here. Oh, that's right. I'm remembering now. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do is this little one is going to be up in the back like that. These are going to go kind of to the side. I think this is how we're going to do it. Something like that. Then these two will be on either outside edge, and this one we're going to cut down the middle to be also on the outside edge. So I'm going to take this one and we're going to place it, the flat edge on the shoulder down here and the tip of it on the cutting line up there. Okay, so that we can put half and half. Okay, now let me grab a page and let's adhere some of this. Okay, so first off, we're going to go ahead and take the half piece. I'm going to use my repositionable adhesive, run it right off the edge. I love using my repositionable adhesive on points like that because it gets the adhesive all the way out to the edge without you getting all sticky and getting adhesive absolutely everywhere, which stinks. We all know that that's not what makes crafting fun, right? So I'm going to go ahead and place this one just on top of it, kind of layered, and I have a little bit of it over the jeeping right here, which I'm going to come back and trim off. Okay, then this center one right here, we are actually going to, I'm going to go ahead and place it on here, and then we are going to trim it as well. And I'm actually going to have it kind of be a little bit off center. So the point is not going to be right at the jeeping. The point's going to be a little to the left. Okay, and then we're going to trim that, and the rest of it will be on the next page over. This one I'm going to, let's see. I'd really love to be able to see more of this one, but it is what it is. All right, now I'm going to grab my zero centering ruler. We're going to trim off these other ones. I'm going to grab my X-Acto knife. If you don't have an X-Acto knife, you can use your precision point scissors. They do work for this. I just prefer to use the tools that I've always used. So be careful in either case, whether you're using an X-Acto knife or using the scissors. Be careful not to apply too much pressure. You only want to go through the paper. You don't want to go through the page. Okay, so trim carefully. So I'm placing my ruler, my zero centering ruler, all the way up against the jeeping, which is super helpful when you're doing this because the jeeping is a little bit higher than your page, and as a result you can have a barrier essentially, so you know where the edge of your page needs to sit. Okay. This paper is a little bit thicker than our designer paper. There. Alright, so there's the left-hand side. Let me grab this one. And I'm just going to slide these photos off so that I can adhere my other pieces. Come here. Okay, we're gonna oh, you know what? I need to see where this needs to go. I don't know what I'm thinking. Alright, so let me put my pages together, and that way I can see where this particular bit of tree needs to come into play. There it goes. Now the other one is not as critical because it's not already on the other page. Okay, so there's that one. We're going to catch the other half of the tree we did on the other side. And I'm going to bring this down just a little so there's more room for this guy. And then we're going to trim the edges of these guys. I was actually going to ink the edges of these trees like we did in the last video, but guys, I'm not in the habit of doing that. I need to make myself a really big note so I don't just leap past the point where I need to do that until I've done it. You know, when you're not in the habit of doing something and it's kind of new, I don't think to do it. It's completely my fault. All right. Some more trees. Okay, now what we're going to do is create some stars to go on our trees. Because every Christmas tree that I know that's worth its salt has some kind of a topper on it, right? So we can use a sticker with a star. I have some right here. I have some blue, some gold. That would introduce a different color to our layout, but our photos, some of them have some blue in them, so it wouldn't be a totally new color. Or we can go ahead and cut or punch our own stars. Let's see if I can grab some. We can grab cardstock, or we could grab, oh, I've got it. I've got it. Here we go. How about we'll just make the star glitter? Why not, right? We can, so why not? Okay. Just going to punch a few of these so we have one for each of our trees. We're going to do 7. I don't know if we'll need 7, but we'll punch 7 and see. Alright, so this is the mini trio, part of the mini trio punch set. If you have that, that's what I'm using here. It's a little bit more rounded, so it looks a little more like a starfish, but it's a nice size, so it works well, I find, for this type of a situation. We can just add our stars to the tops of our trees. Some of these are going to need a little surgery, so bear with me a second. I'm just gonna get the majority of them put on here, and then we'll come back and add what we want to add and subtract what we need to subtract. Okay, so there's that one. All right. So I'll come back with my X-Acto knife and we'll trim those. But let's go ahead and adhere some photos. So these photos are going to go on this page. These photos are going to go on this page. All right. So these are just some final photos of our last walk down Main Street. And there was a parade. I don't know if you're familiar with Disney parades, but they can be really fun. And this, of course, was no exception at all. All right, I need to trim this one down a little. I think we'll make this one. I think I'm just going to trim it right at the house right there. House, right at the edge of the building. Okay, it'll fit right there. And I can journal some right here. And these are the photos. You remember I said there's several photos on this page that are similar to that one that we I had blown up into a 5x7. Well, these are those. And this one at the bottom is of my sweetheart. So we're gonna just move these down, play with these just a little bit to line them up the way we want to line them up. I think that'll work. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and adhere these photos and then we'll come back and finish. All right, so I have just a couple things to add on here as our embellishments, and so I have a couple things I pulled just for fun. I have some gnomes. If you got any of the special packs of gnomes last Christmas season, these guys are really cute. I'm not a super huge gnome fan, but I think sometimes they can be really darling, and this is one of those times. I think they would be really cute on this page. So I'm going to see what I can do to kind of create a little bit of okay. I'm going to grab my foam squares and go ahead and pop up this poinsettia. Those of you who've been watching this whole series will know how mixed up my embellishments are, so I'm sorry I'm not able to tell you exactly which collection this came from, but it was one within the last 2 or 3 years. Either Joy to the World, might have been Joy to the World because of the gold, or I don't know. Anyway, I'm not even going to try to guess because I won't guess right. Okay, so I'm going to just have this little gnome guy kind of sit behind that flower, and then we'll have maybe this guy also. Oh, he has the same hat. We need one with a different hat to sit down there. Maybe this guy, except he has yellow. Let's do this guy. Set him kind of maybe in there. Just peeking out behind the flower. We can have another flower. Where can we put the other flower? Maybe here? Maybe. I suppose the argument could be made that embellishments are not super necessary on this particular one. Mostly because the Christmas trees are so decorated up so much. But it's okay. I'll give this guy a buddy also. Stick him in there. Alright, I only have 5 gnomes, so we've got 4 on that page. There's only going to be 1 on this page, but I guess that is just the way the cookie crumbles, huh? Okay, so we're going to pop this guy up too, and maybe put him down here. These gnomes are super cute. If you got any, I hope you put them together, because they really are really fun. Alright, I'm going to just add a couple of these trees in behind that poinsettia, and we'll put a little star on top of each one of them also. Come off there. Sometimes these little acrylic stickers and I do not see eye to eye. Alright. Now, what do we think about that? Is that enough? Do we need to add anything? Nope, I think I'm going to leave it right there with that. I'll journal some right here, and we are just about done with Disney, and I'll be sad to not have our Disney pages to go. But as they say, when you finish a vacation album, that must mean that it's time to go back. So who knows what you'll see in the future. But we're not done yet, but we're really close. Check back, I think next week we'll be finished with Disney. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope this has been helpful and inspiring for you, and something that you can use in your holiday albums. And until next time, I hope that you have many more creative moments. Have a great day now.